Good morning, everybody. KJ here. Hope you're having your coffee like you like it. If you don't drink coffee, I hope you're having whatever you're having when you're having it, at whatever time you're having it. Good morning, CHP. How are you this morning? Well, I'll tell you what, y'all. Can you believe this shit? Little over 4 months, y'all. And 2023 is over and out. It's done. It's finished. And it just reminds me that I didn't actually give an inventory or reflect on what happened in 2022. We know what the big news was. Hello, Just Me, Dee Dee Sunshine, Don Spencer, Mikkel Callahan, Olive Heatley, Beach Lady, Ron Hensley. So, are you anything like that? I mean, do you think, okay, 2022 is out, O-U-T out, we're in 2023. Good morning, Evangeline Light, Diane Renee McDonald, Teresa. And then, obviously, in my view of things, this year has gone by so fast, y'all. It used to be like, dang, I can't believe it's Thursday or Monday or whatever. CHP says, I'm grateful to be alive. I live in California. Hurricane and earthquake down the street from me. Yes, CHP. I was reading the headlines on that. There was a 5.1 magnitude earthquake that hit California, along with this Hurricane Hillary stuff. Good morning, Janelle Murphy. I'm praying for everyone in California. Hope you're doing well. Sam Willow, good morning. Good morning, Grammy B. Evangeline Light says, life is a blur. Too much going on. But does it have to be, Evangeline? Does life have to be a blur? And I get you, because I've been there many a times. There are days in my life where I think to myself, this or could I have done that? And then the big question really is why even go there? Why even ask myself these questions? Hello, I Live For Now. Good morning. Which is a great point on your YouTube name there. I Live For Now. Of course y'all know I'm going to say we got to live in the moment. That we can't stay stuck in the past. And we can't be fearful or worried about the future. But at some point, y'all, throughout the timeline of your life and mine, we had those I Live For Now moments. And what did we do with them? Well, here's the good news. You can do whatever the hell you want to do. How about that? Janelle says just trying to be in the moment. And I think that I try to do that, but I'm not conscientious of it. I don't think to myself as I'm doing stuff like I did over the weekend to try to get a few smiles and laughs. I wasn't thinking in the moment, I'm going to live in the moment. You know what I'm saying? I guess in some ways, OKJ is kind of, train myself to try to live in the moment without really titling it that. Does that make sense? Oh, Nancy Bergbauer is now fancy Nancy Bergbauer. Good for you. OKJ wishes I was fancy. I'd wear, I don't know, I guess it depends on what your fancy definition is. I can't think of many fancy things that I do in my life. I guess I'd have to look at the definition of the word fancy and then decide whether that one suits the way I live. I mean, I'm an old country girl. My idea of fancy is to have like extra little packs of soy sauce or little extra little things at the Sonic there of the ranch. Oh, that's fancy. Oh, I'm just kidding with y'all. I have been to fancy restaurants. But you know what? Whenever I've gone to a fancy restaurant, which isn't very often, and they serve you the 6-course meal or whatever, I'm like nervous the whole time. Like, what the hell? Just put it on the damn table. Put you a basket full of biscuits there and some freaking damn jelly or something. Yeah, let's just get this on. Look, we don't need you to sit this in front of me and me decide first if I'm going to eat it because it don't look, something weird about it. It's more about artistic on the plate than it is actually putting it in your mouth. Oh, Fancy Nancy Bergbauer says, my brother nicknamed me that when I was born. How sweet is that, Nancy? Here you go, Fancy, don't let me down. Yeah, Reba McEntire's going to town. Forgive me for what I do. Oh, yeah, I know. Diane says, I love Reba. Reba. Oh, I know, I do too, CHP. I want some beef Wellington. I think that a lot of people probably misunderstood that post, which is very fascinating to me. I took a picture off of Google Images to show there is a beef Wellington pie, and I am going to make it. And I asked everyone, I guess in our last live stream, maybe, and I thought I made myself clear that I wanted to hear some recipes on it. And I got some people thinking that the picture itself was what I had made. No. Shoot, when I do the beef Wellington, it's probably going to look like something weird. I never made it before. You know why? Because beef Wellington pie or just beef Wellington. You just don't have that in my home. You don't just have that in the way I grew up. I think it's interesting, y'all. I want to tell y'all this while I've got it on my mind. I went to a market that's like locally owned. It's not one of these big box chain stores. They have the best meats there. And even though Wayne and I have got 2 freezers full of beef, we don't have one of those big fillets you need, beef fillets, So I went over there. I'm like, I'm going to get my ingredients a little bit at a time. And I went back there, and the butcher said, can I help you? I said, well, I've never made beef Wellington before, and I don't know what, am I supposed to get the filet? Am I supposed to get like a sirloin? What am I supposed to get here? Well, this woman was walking by, and she stopped, and she pulled out her phone, and she's like, oh, I shit y'all not, this is exactly what she said to me. She said, you're going to have a lot of older people come to your little dinner party. And I sat there a minute, and I thought, whoa, can y'all believe that? This woman, she connected me wanting to make beef Wellington with having older people at my home. Is it because beef Wellington isn't something that this day and time people make all the time? Or did she know something that I didn't? And I didn't want to pry and ask her why she said that. Then, obviously, it wigged me out a little bit because it was 4 older people in their 60s and 70s there that either died or is in the hospital waiting for a liver transplant. I'm not here to go into the Aaron Patterson deal today. That's for Fridays. What I'm saying is that I had to ask a butcher, and I'm going to slowly get these ingredients together. I'm looking for a simple recipe. I had one of you say, I've looked at all these news articles, and I don't see anything where it says pie. So I was like, wow, maybe the media's kind of they're editing their original articles because every damn one of them said beef Wellington pie. So I went looking, and I was having a hard time myself, but I found one, and I posted the link to this person's comment just to let them know that word pie was still out there. Good morning, K-Tech. Good morning, Vix Tex. Kala Lily says no one ever makes it unless you are a chef, right? I don't know, Kala Lily. I am taking a guess out here on a Monday that perhaps beef Wellington is something that could possibly be something cultural, or sometimes we make the meals we make for whatever reasons we're going to make them, for special occasions or things of that sort. Hello, good morning, Kathy Mama Bear. Teresa says, I think it's more common in England. I think so too, Teresa. At least that's what I gotta let my cat in. Hold on. All right, come on. Go. Go to the food bowl. Go. Okay, so anyway, sorry about that, y'all. Y'all know how it is here at OKJ's house. I've got, these cats that are constantly telling me what to do. Anyway, CHB says, I'm lucky if I can make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. What are y'all talking about? Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, Beach Lady. It's an old recipe, much like Coca-Cola cake, which I've never made Coca-Cola cake, but I've had it, and it's good. My mother used to make a good chocolate cake. It was it was almost a little bit more fluffy than brownie, and then she put this butter chocolate icing on it, and then it would harden. But it was so good. It wasn't hardened where you didn't enjoy it. It was just a little stiff. I loved it. I've got a recipe. Maybe I'll make it one day. Olive Heatley says beef Wellington is an old-fashioned English dish. What the hell? So anyway, I don't know where this Coffee with KJ is going, because y'all know as well as I do that I don't have any particular thing that I want to discuss unless I do have something particular that I want to discuss. I guess I need to turn it all back again to the topic, if there is one, of how 2023 is just a little over 4 months away of being over and done with. And the news that we got this year with the trial of the Lolo, the things that all of us have done that are unrelated to that, as well as related to that. And knowing that eventually pre-trial will start with the gherkin pickle there, and how going into 2024, on April Fool's in 2022, what have I been doing in 2023? What have I been spending most of my time doing? Have I been taking care of my family the way I should? This is just me, y'all. Have I been taking care of my health? Have I been taking care of being able to look around me and be more reflective, have more self-care, have more self-reflection? And, y'all, I couldn't even tell you really what I did in 2021. If I'd have to go back and I'd have to really look and see what I know. I was covering this case for, was it since 2020? But that wasn't the main thing in my life. There were other things in my life that I had to do, and there are things that I wanted to do, and I did them. I share my family with all of y'all to show, number one, that I care. Number two, just to kind of bounce that off of everybody to see, whether they can, I guess, accept me, because it can't just be me sitting here in this screen right here, because there's a lot of things about me and there's a lot of things about you that it goes further than what we live inside our mind, body, spirit, if you want to look at it that way. Yes, Fancy Nancy says, morning, everyone. Sam Willa, we sure change as we get older. We find out soft spot, nourish ourselves. Well, Nicole, I never know which mug I'm gonna pull out of the cabinet there. Uh, but I know you like the chickadees. Kathy Mama Bear says I used to cook a lot. Now Tom is retired and that is his job. So, Kathy Mama Bear, you got him trained good, huh? I couldn't get Wayne to cook nothing for me. I think when we first got married, he made me a big pot of chili. And when I was finishing up my courses over at the college, I was taking night classes and I would come home and he would be standing behind the stove there and he would be making country ham and eggs when I'd come home late the evening from my night classes. But as far as from then on, I think Wayne made some sauteed mushrooms, believe it or not, y'all. But they were the kind that you put in a pot. They're whole mushrooms, and you put I guess the smoke, liquid smoke on them, or the marinade on them, and you let them soak those up through a slow simmer. They were delicious. That was one time he did that. But in all these years, y'all, Mr. Wayne does not cook. He shouldn't have to cook. I don't want him to cook because I know I'm a good cook and I should be able to, and I enjoy cooking. I absolutely enjoy cooking. I'm a lot like my mother. She loved to cook. Olive says, I think we slow down as we get older. I do anyway. No more rushing about and doing less. So when you say Olive doing less, does that mean that it's less of a life going on there? No. Uh, and I know what you meant by that. I absolutely, Olive. I don't do as much as I used to do. But I don't want to slow down yet. Uh, what does my life entail in terms of production and what do I produce? Uh, what does it matter, right? As long as it's something that is healthy, something that moves me through my moments, right? See, that's the whole thing, Kyla Lily. You're talking about Duxelles. I don't even know how to say that. As part of that recipe of beef Wellington. Somebody tell me what Duxelles is. Everything else I can see. I know what a pate is. I know what a puff pastry is. I know that what steak is. It's a fillet of steak coated with pate. And then it's often pate de foie gras. I mean, y'all, I'm an old country girl. Why do they gotta have recipes like that? Why can't they just give like a southern version of it? You slap some dang mushrooms that have been chopped up that maybe's mixed with a little stuff in with it. Perhaps maybe the mushrooms or some of it anyway has been ground down to powder, and you put it in as you got your beef thing there. Grammy B says chopped and chopped mushrooms. Okay. Nicole says, if I can't pronounce that, I don't even attempt to try to cook it. Well, Nicole, I'm one of these ones, and I'm right there with you, but I'm one of these ones, which I didn't look it up. I can't look it up right now, but I will. If I get a recipe and there's a word in there that I don't know, I'm going to look up the word just to kind of, okay, it means this. Let me translate this to old Southern girl KJ, right? And then there's these recipes that come from other cultures and stuff where they don't use things like teaspoon and cup and all this other stuff. Come on. Can't we get universal on this? Kathy Mama Bear says, I love to cook, but honestly, I'm kind of enjoying not having to do it unless I feel it. Evangeline Light says a preparation of mushrooms sauteed with onions, shallots, garlic, and parsley and used to make stuffing or sauce. I looked it up. Okay, Evangeline Light. I can get that. I can do that. It's just these other words, and I'm gonna make the beef Wellington, y'all. It's just I got to give me a little more time to get each of my ingredients together. I've got to be in the mood to do it. I am going to shoot a video on it. The whole purpose of doing it isn't to make a cooking video. It's about what would possibly this Erin Patterson, what could she have been thinking at the time? There'll be crucial moments in that cooking video. You got to be thoughtful anyway, right? No matter what you're cooking. You can't just go in there with a blank mind and whip something up, although I am a good short order cook. I know how to throw some bacon in the skillet and use the bacon grease to do my eggs. And, there are things I could probably do if I was sleepwalking, if you know what I'm saying. RDNAC says, I love to cook frozen dinners. Yes. VixTex needs to make a cookbook, says CHP. Cooking with the Rays. Wouldn't that be awesome? Olive says that word. Because I don't even know if it's duxelles. Is that how you say it? It's sauteed mushroom to garnish. And Janelle Murphy wants us all to know that just make sure that you have certified mushrooms before you put it together. Hey, I was reading an article, y'all, up there, and I think it's in Washington State. There was a Listeria outbreak that killed 3 people because they went to use the shake machine to get a shake. They went to this restaurant, Frugal's, I think that's the name of the place, and they had a shake, and it ended up killing them because this Listeria affects the immune-compromised people. And just because these people had a shake at a public restaurant, they're dead. Vix Tech, it's up to you, Vix. The word raise. You're welcome to it. Even though raise is research analysis in you, hey, that can apply to cooks too. Cooking. Vix Tech says Listeria is horrible. And they said that, the reason was because this milkshake machine had not been properly cleaned, and then they cited a few years back where the packages of the lettuce and everything, the Dole lettuce, killed people with Listeria. Folks, it's almost like walking in a dang minefield when you go out here and eat at a restaurant anymore. CHP says, look, I'm the old lady. KJ is a kid. No, I'm not, CHP. I'm honored and flattered that you would say that, but I'm a 52-year-old woman with, I've got old thoughts, but at the same time, I'm quite immature. Slime in the ice machine, says Vix Tex. That's just an easy way of saying it. Thank you there, Vix. We people with compromised immune systems have to be really careful what we eat when we eat out, Kathy Mama Bear says. And that's another thing, we live out our everydays, y'all, and sometimes we just get so moving forward all the time, which is nothing wrong with that we don't take a minute to smell the roses, or we don't take a minute to really think of, I don't tell anybody to go around going, this could happen or that could happen. If I did that, y'all, they put me in a padded room to be anyway. But the bottom line is that, it's all about living in the here and now and deciding that you're going to see life however you're going to see it, which can and does include for me that I got to be a little conscientious. I got to stop and think about things, but it don't have to be an emotional response. It doesn't have to be a paranoid response. It doesn't have to be denying myself something because something else could happen. In other words, because these things happen and we see it in the news at these restaurants, do I deny myself going to a restaurant? Bama Cat, happy birthday! Yay, Bama Cat! Hope you're having a wonderful birthday today. Everybody's wishing you a happy birthday, Bama Cat. And now I've got another cat to let in. Okay, so 2 were already at the in the house. 2 more have come in. So I'm done with my servitude to my kitties. Bama Cat says, thank y'all very much. So, there you go, y'all. Oh, let's stop for a second. You don't have to put it in the comments, but just food for thought. Food, y'all. Food for thought. No pun intended. When was your birthday? Mine was in April. Every year goes by. I'll leave it at that. Bama Cat says, much appreciated. I'm calling the last of the 50s decade. So where does time set in all of our lives? Do we really think that time is precious? If OKJ thinks time is precious, is there things that I can show through my actions and behaviors, not just words, that prove the point that I make that time is precious? Are there things that I could sit down right now and write out that are fact about why I feel time is precious? And these are the things that I get up every day and I pray and meditate. I ask my God, I say, thank you for another day. Thank you for getting me through yesterday, and thank you for getting me through tomorrow, come what may. That is one thing I know I can write down that is proof. That is actual proof that time is precious. Time is precious for everybody on this channel, including KJ. Time is a good thing because we're living. We're either working or doing things that we do, relaxing, whatever it is. DD Sunshine says, my day is Wednesday. I did the math and I was conceived on December 1st. My mom's birthday, I was her present 9 months later. Isn't that sweet? Well, you're special, DD, and everybody on here is special. Hardy and AC says, we are time millionaires. Kathy Mama Bear says, September babies are awesome. I want to say this because I don't know exactly how this is all going, but to try to squeeze just as much out of life as one can without pushing it, without forcing it, just to live in the moment and to enjoy the fact that I, get to live, that I get to do whatever it is that's going to happen, whether I'm having a crappy ass day, whether I didn't want to get out of bed this morning, whether I'm struggling, whether I'm fearful, whether I'm totally and completely at peace. That can change from day to day, but the mere fact that I am here, that my heart is beating, my eyes are open to whatever it is that I choose. And even to go a step further, my eyes are searching. And when I say eyes, I mean my lens, the way I view life, searching for those little things in my life that will help guide me. And I feel like are having to do with my faith and my belief system. That's just me, though. Tina Reddington says that they're not a drop of rain, got a lot of new fires, and Tina Reddington's in Oregon. Fancy Nancy Bergbauer says, off to run errands. I sure appreciate all of our time together. KJ and all the way says, Fancy Nancy. Kathy Mama Bear says, Tina Reddington, I've been praying hard for you, my friend. Nicole says, the only true constant for us here. Eric Jasper says, when people ask how I I tell them I didn't wake up pushing daisies above me. So great day. Great point, Eric Jasper. So as many of y'all know, KJ's habitually, in my youth, had always thought that Mondays were a bad day. Well, I choose to change that. You know, it stems from me having a great weekend, and Monday rolled around. I had to go back to school, but now that I'm 52, I can rewrite how I'm going to view things. And nobody in my life has to go along with it. No one has to be forced to see things the way that I see them. And there are times that old KJ butts up against my view of my day. I want to have a happy day. I'm going to have one. And there are going to be people that's going to walk into my life or who are already in my life that's going to try to shit all over that. But that's okay. Because then again, do they get to determine how I'm going to see my life? Do they? Now, I'm not talking about go through your life and live in a delusion, but there is nothing absolutely delusional or unfactual about saying I'm going to get up today or I'm getting out of bed right now, going down the hallway, going to get my coffee, and damn it, I'm going to make this a good day. Even though I'm maybe sore from the weekend or I don't feel good or really I've got something to do today perhaps that I don't want to do. But I can still make it a good day. And that's really what it comes down to, y'all. It comes down to, for me, I'm not speaking for you. You guys speak for yourself. As I've got time. There's seconds, minutes, hours, days, weeks, months, years, and all of that's up in the air. All right? I could die 5 minutes from now. Who knows? But I do know I've got time because I'm breathing and my heart's going and my brain is somewhat working. And I have a personal responsibility for me to make it the best that it can be for myself under the current circumstances of my life, whatever that is. So that's what I'm going to do. And in order to do that, I have to stop and think about, briefly, what did I do in 2022? What have I done this far in 2023? Just so that I can stay current. Not even looking down the road, just thinking about everything that has accumulated in my life, in my 52 years. That's what I'm going to do. I don't have to wallow in it. I don't have to focus in on the positive or the negative of it. I can look at it all with a neutral lens. This is what I've done in my life. And that's a lot for, I'm sure, y'all and myself to look at our lives and say, what has accumulated thus far? And is there anything wrong with knowing some of the struggles and all the bad stuff that could have happened or did happen and still be able to see it as a blessing of the accumulation of life, not living in regret, not armchair quarterbacking it, not wishing I wouldn't have went through the traumas I went through in my life, or if I'd have just made this decision back in 1986. No, it's not about that. It's about taking an honest and forthright impression, a honest impression of how life is for me. I'm not telling you that you have to do that. This is where I'm at. This is because of self-care. I want to look at it. And there are things that can remind me. Obviously, I can look at old photographs. I can look at maybe my old journals or talk to people that I know who have been in my circle of support my entire life. Although they can see things I can't see because they're on the outside looking in, doesn't mean that I've got to embrace and accept what they think my life was all about. But it's good to get those different views, those different perspectives. Solution of crazy old KJ. It's like I'm willing to hear it. Doesn't mean I'm sure some of y'all could say, well, KJ, this is since May of 2020 when I first met you. This is we're up in 2023 right now. We've only got a little over 4 months to go. And this is what I see about you and how you've lived your life, KJ. And maybe, just maybe, knowing that other people see through their own lens, which is something that I highly believe, you are the only you're ever going to be. Maybe there's something in there I do need to hear. I'm not asking for answers. I'm just throwing this out here. RDNAC just got a new apartment. Eric Jasper says, we are our own destiny. You're right. In my humble opinion, you have most likely gotten at least one person up and moving that maybe had no gumption anymore to do that. This is good, gut, honest talk here. Well, Eric, that just humbles me. Thank you so much. Your words are really good. I needed to hear that. We're on equal footing here. I mean, I can't just say this is what we're going to talk about without looking at everyone else, because that's not how I choose to live my life. I choose to live my life knowing that I have a responsibility to look at my life, to observe it, to take an inventory, whatever, however you want to say it. But it's also my responsibility to allow others to speak just as I would want to speak. Goes back to, I think it was Kathy Mama Bear who talked, I wish that I could be a better, more interactive person with people who are physically in my life and who's on my life in social media. I wish I could have it all figured out. I wish I had all the answers, not only for myself, but for everyone else. But that's so never going to happen. It's impossible. Good morning, Sugar Butt Starburst. What does my heart good is to see all of y'all also in the comments developing those social media relationships. That is so important to me, that y'all are talking with one another, interacting with one another. CHP says, always looking at the glass being half full, where your thoughts flow, your energy goes, says CHP. Well, as some of y'all know, KJ, when it comes to the glass half full or half empty, hell, y'all, I'm just glad I have a glass. That's all. I mean, I'm just glad I've got a glass that I could even express that. I mean, there are people all over this world that have these feelings deep in their heart. They want to share it, but things happen for whatever reason. There's nothing wrong with any of these people. They just need to let it come out and be who they are. That's part of life. And guess what else is part of life? Being reserved or not speaking at all. There's so many aspects of life. I don't even know them all. I just learn as I go. And these are my opinions and my beliefs. Doesn't mean everybody else has to even see it that way. I wouldn't want anybody to see it that way. Sugarbutt Starburst says, I'm just going through a lot. And Sugarbutt Starburst, we all go through a lot, on and off. Not to take away from what you're going through at all. It's a way for me to say, hang in there. We might, I mean, I can't say, Sugarbutt Starburst, I've been there. You're going to be fine and all that, because I don't know what it is, and I'm not asking. What I am saying is that I'm making the effort to reach out, to connect, to let come out whatever I feel inside. Tina Reddington says, I haven't had my coffee yet. I'm out in the field with the dingo. Well, Tina, unless I have coffee, I can't even walk out the front door, the back door, the side door. I've got to have coffee in order to even get up, move around. It's the way it is for me. Well, Olive, that's a good thing, right? Because you've made a decision that you want to talk, and that's a decision that you feel at peace with. You need to feel, it's about you. It's not, there's these other people, and they're talking, so I'm going to talk. No, it's not that at all. It's making that decision, whether it's conscious or unconscious, that you want to let things out. It does make a person feel more refreshed and ready to go in their life if they let out negativity or positivity or a neutrality, whatever it is. We were meant, this is my view, y'all, we were meant to let it out. It's about you, self-care, self-preservation, self-acknowledgement, self-love. Well, I love being with y'all, RD and AC. I wish that our conversations were more focused. But you know what, y'all? Life is not always in focus. Life in the lens that OKJ uses isn't always stuck in there. I know I'm going to be like laser focused on something. The only thing in my life that I want so desperately to laser focus in on is God's will in my life, and I know for a fact that I fail in that. And I'm not going to beat myself up about it. I'm going to keep moving forward, because you know what? How many times in my life have I acknowledged something that I feel at peace, whether it's something negative about myself or positive, that it didn't end up helping me? How many times would I have been able to do that? To have that self-awareness. Any little bit helps me. Even if it just seems like I'm jumping from subject to subject to subject. Well, guess what? The mind is an awesome place. It's very complex. The spirit, it's just me. The spirit, the body, these are complex things. You can't put them in a freaking damn box. You can't put them in a corner. You can't put a blanket statement on them. You can't do none of that. Freedom. Freedom, y'all, is a decision you make on your own. What is freedom to you? What do you want to do? Because regardless of whatever you decide, whether on a conscious or unconscious, because I guarantee you, you're going to decide things in your subconscious that are going to, your behaviors are going to follow suit. you might as well look for some self-awareness. You don't have to stay mired in it. But anytime that you can give yourself a minute here or a few seconds there to reflect, don't you think you deserve that? I know I do. If we reflect on what other people do to us all the time, or we reflect on the state of the world all the time, we sure as hell, we can focus in on our mind, body, spirit. If you don't believe that's the route you want to go, you can define it however you want to, and it's not wrong. And the only wrong, though, let me back up a little. The only wrong is if you self-define yourself and deal with yourself in ways that hurt yourself or other people. All I can say advice-wise, take a step back and reevaluate. Because nothing that I feel that my God wants me to do in my life should ever lead to hurting myself or hurting other people. And in fact, any self-reflection that I have should always be about loving others, being there for others the best I know how, however it comes out. There are so many options out there on how I can continue to do what I can to hold on to that peace, even the little measure that I receive, because I will never have 100% peace on this earth. The only time I'll ever have 100% peace, y'all, it's just me. It's when I'm in heaven. That's it. And that's what I want more than anything, RDNAC. Our group is all about love and kindness. It's always with the motivation to get a few laughs out of you. Or for nothing else, y'all, my main thing, just think for yourself. Just think for yourself. And I'm sure many are like, KJ, of course I think for myself. You don't have to tell me that. Well, fine. Maybe this is me thinking for myself and just saying it out loud, right? Let's just remember that. Let's also remember that every second, minute, hour, day, week, month, year that we've lived is a gift. And we have so much we can give to other people. Even if it's just a smile. If we can just smile at someone else. If we can put our arm around someone's shoulder. Even if we are being mistreated or someone says something mean to us, to respond with the opposite. Because I'm going to tell you what, we don't have to know. I don't have to know if I've helped anybody. I don't really want to know, to be honest with you, because I know human nature. And human nature wants you to say, oh, look, I did this or I did that. I want to stay away from it. I don't want to know. And it is one of my prayers to my God. Please, if I've done any good, first and foremost, I didn't. You did it. God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit. All good, perfect things come from above. I don't want to know. Thank you so much, Nicole. Kathy Barella says, we only have one life. Is it so hard to say, I'm going to make a personal decision in this moment? Even though I'm not going to be able to, this is me. I'm not going to be able to, I'm going to fail, but I'm not going to stop, because what it is that I'm making the personal decision to do is that important, and that is directly related to my whatever measure of peace I have, and that is to love others, be kind, try to be purposeful about it. Try to do what you can, not just to make everybody else happy, so that you yourself can look at your life, past, present, living in the moments, and say, I've done the best I know how to do. And I'm going to continue doing that, even if I don't see the fruit of what I've tried to do. Just be yourself. And you're going to spend a lifetime learning about yourself. You're going to spend a lifetime, nobody has it down packed. Some people want to fool themselves and say, oh, yeah, I know exactly who I am and all that. But, folks, if you become stagnant and say, this is me in a nutshell, I'm not going to change, I'm not going to grow, this is it, y'all. You need to look at it. You need to look at it because we are like a beautiful flowering plant in life. One that never, ever is like dies after the season's over. We're the one that comes back continuously. That's a metaphor, but it's the way I see it. Dee Dee Sunshine says, I'm the only me I'm ever going to be. And you think about that. We all are individuals. It's like a snowflake. They're all so different. Even the leaves on a tree and the blades of grass, every single blade of grass is different. How much more are we as human beings? Kathy Barella says, we learn something new every day. That is called a learning spirit, in my view. You are open to learning. At the same time, there are a lot of things in this world that we can't unsee, that we've learned about. Put it in its proper place, however you work that out. So, what was this conversation and Coffee with KJ about today? I guess a little bit of everything, huh? I love you all. I hope y'all have a great Monday. We'll get back together real soon. The community wall. Let me just say this. I posted a couple of pictures of CJ and Faith on the community wall. That wasn't from this weekend. That was from the week before when they were on the boat. They were supposed to go with us yesterday, but their plans got canceled for whatever reason. It wasn't a bad reason. Something came up and they couldn't make it. I just got to reflecting on it over the weekend. This young love that possibly is developing. I share my family with y'all. I love all of y'all. I hope y'all have a great Monday. Keep looking toward the community wall for updates on anything, and enjoy your coffee. Enjoy your day. Enjoy you, because you are the only you you're ever going to be. Be purposeful. Make a decision for whatever decision you want to make, right? So, with that said, KJ loves you all, and keep on looking.